Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to getting up to speed. Today, we're strapping in, really. It's a security deep dive. We are looking at the analysis, the findings, on a, well, pretty alarming domain, YourMailTabcom homepage. So our mission here, and this is all based on the security document we've got, is to pull out the key red flags fast, like really understand how this thing might be trying to steal your info, and crucially, give you clear, actionable steps, what you need to do if you just landed there, and maybe more importantly, what to do if you think you might have already, clicked something or entered details.
Yeah, and that speed is key because look, the baseline assessment here, it's not good. The sources are pretty clear. This site is highly questionable. It poses real multiple risks to your personal data, your security. We are definitely in the red zone with this one. So immediate informed action is really your best bet.
Okay, let's start with what you actually see, the initial findings. So someone lands on your mailtab.com /1 homepage. What's there? The analysis says it's really minimal, right? Like just basic links, Facebook, Instagram, they don't even work properly. And a shopping link that just goes to eBay. Plus the usual legal stuff, ELAA, privacy policy. It just sort of screams low effort, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That minimal content, that's your first, maybe soft red flag.
Yeah.
A real email service, it would have branding, features, actual tools. This has basically none of that. But here's the thing. The sources show the hard red flag pops up almost immediately. Security researchers, they already know about this site. Yeah, the analysis points right to malware tracking sites. They've tagged browser extensions linked to this domain. Things like YourMailTab, _v, whatever, .eix, tag them as malware files. Or more specifically, PUPs, possibly unwanted programs. Right. And that's basically security speak for software that, even if you technically agreed to install it, it does stuff you don't want. Hijacks your browser, floods you with ads, collects your data. So the verdict's kind of already in from the security community. This is confirmed dangerous territory.
And then there's that specific instruction it gives. This is the really weird part, right? It just says, final step, click keep changes. Super vague, demanding, no context.
That is the hook. That's the social engineering piece. It completely lacks transparency. Why? Because it's designed to make you just comply. You think, oh, final step, gotta do this. But you have no idea what changes you're actually keeping.
Right.
And that ambiguity is how they trick you. You might be approving an extension install, maybe changing your browser's homepage or search engine without even realizing the implications.
So, okay. No known brand behind it, hardly any content on the page, and this weird, pushy, vague instruction. It all seems to point towards one goal.
Yeah.
Getting control of the browser somehow.
That's exactly it. They want that first foothold. Maybe it's a hidden extension download triggered by that click. Maybe it's just changing your settings so they can control what you see next, where your searches go.
All right, let's unpack this a bit more. We've established it's dodgy, it's a malicious way in. But what's the end game? What's this site actually trying to achieve? What's the, business model here?
Well, the primary purpose seems pretty clear from the analysis. It's browser manipulation. And why do that? Usually for data collection and ad revenue. See, if they change your homepage, change your default search engine, suddenly every search you do, every new tab you open, potentially goes through their servers first.
Ah, okay.
That's classic adware behavior. It leads to, redirecting you where you didn't want to go, bombarding you with ads you didn't ask for, and critically collecting data about your browsing habits.
And doing all that, messing with your browser, it sort of weakens your security posture overall. But the analysis gets really specific about the big fear. Stealing private info, like Gmail passwords, credit card numbers. How does a page that just looks like, almost nothing manage to pull off that kind of data grab?
Right. It's not always the page itself doing the heavy lifting. This is where we need to look at the common attack vectors these PUPs and malicious extensions use. The analysis points to about 4 main ways. First up, the classic fake login page. The extension, or maybe a redirect from the site, sends you to a page. It looks exactly like the Gmail login or maybe your bank's login. Visually identical.
Yeah.
But crucially, the URL in the address bar, it's wrong. It's not accounts.google.com or your bank's real address. It's something slightly off. You type in your username and password, hit submit. Boom. Credentials captured by the attacker.
So the extension isn't just sitting there changing the homepage. It can actively interfere when you're trying to log in somewhere important, making a fake page look real. But how does it get that power to read what I'm typing?
That leads to the second vector, the malicious browser extension itself, and the permissions it has. Think about when you install any browser extension. Often the permissions request is super broad. Something like, read and change all your data on the websites you visit.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Exactly. If you grant that, a malicious extension can do a lot. It can inject fake login forms onto legitimate sites. It can intercept the data you type into real forms, even if the URL is correct. It can even replace the genuine sign-in process entirely with its own mechanism designed just to steal your credentials. Third method, man-in-the-middle tactics, or MITM. Think of this like someone secretly listening in on your connection. The site or the extension might route your web traffic through their own dodgy servers or trackers before it gets to the real destination.
Oh.
So they sit in the middle, logging data as it passes through. It's like an invisible eavesdropper on your connection. And the fourth one, maybe the easiest one for them, autofill abuse. We all use it, right? Browser saves your address, your credit card detail.
It's convenience.
Exactly. Password managers, browser autofill. Well, if the attacker codes their fake page cleverly enough, your browser might just automatically populate those sensitive fields the second the page loads. Name, address, credit card number, CVV. If your browser autofills it onto their malicious page, they might harvest it instantly without you even clicking submit. They basically exploit convenience.
Wow. Okay, this just underscores how fast you need to react if you encounter something like this. So let's shift gear to defense, prevention, and response. The analysis gives us two scenarios, right? What to do if you just saw the site versus what to do if you think you might have actually entered information.
Exactly. And the core advice, this applies to everyone, regardless of scenario. If you see that weird click keep changes prompt or anything similar that asks for permissions without explaining why, do not click it. Don't grant permissions unless you are absolutely 100% certain what you're agreeing to and who's asking. Okay, so scenario A, prevention. Let's say you landed on the site, maybe got that prompt, but you didn't click keep changes, you didn't enter any passwords or card details. Your goal now is quick containment. Make sure nothing snuck through. Step 1 is simple. Close the browser tab immediately. Just get out of there. Don't interact further.
Okay.
Step 2, go check your browser extensions systematically. Look for anything unfamiliar, especially anything named YourMailTab or similar variants. Find something weird. Uninstall it immediately.
Got it. Check extensions.
Step 3, reset your browser settings. Go into settings, check your home page, your default search engine, your startup pages. Make sure they're set back to what you want, your trusted defaults, not something the site might have changed. And finally, step 4, run a full malware scan. Use something reputable. Windows Defender is built in and good. Malwarebytes is another great option. Just run a full system scan to catch anything that might have slipped past.
Okay, that's the close call scenario. Now, scenario B, damage control. This is if you suspect you did enter information, maybe a password on what looked like a login page, or perhaps payment details. Now time is absolutely critical.
Yes, absolutely critical. You need to act fast in a specific order. First thing, number 1 priority, change your password immediately. But, and this is vital, do it safely. Use a different, known secure device if possible. Manually type the correct URL for the service. If it was Gmail, you physically type in https://accounts.google.com. Don't click links from the suspicious session or emails you might suddenly get. Go directly to the source.
Right, directly to the real site.
Exactly. Second, straight after changing the password, enable or confirm two-factor authentication, 2FA. Seriously, this is your strongest defense if someone has your password. Use an authenticator app like Google Authenticator or Authy, or even better, a physical security key if you have one. Avoid SMS 2FA if possible. It's less secure.
Good point. 2FA is key.
Third, dive into your account security settings. For Google, that's the Google Account Security Checkup. Look for recent sign-ins from devices or locations you don't recognize. Sign them out. Also, review third-party app permissions. See any apps connected to your account that you didn't authorize. Revoke their access immediately. Now, if payment details were involved, you need to contact your bank or credit card company right away. Report potential fraud. They can monitor your account, block the card if necessary. Attackers test stolen cards fast.
Don't wait on that one.
Definitely not. And while you're dealing with that, also check your saved payment methods. Look in Google Pay, look in your browser's saved payment settings, see any cards there you don't recognize. Or maybe the compromised card was saved. Remove them. And finally, a bit more cleanup. Check your email settings, like in Gmail, for any weird forwarding rules you didn't set up. Attackers love to use these to secretly monitor your emails even after you change your password. Also, maybe glance through your sent items and trash folders for any signs they might have used your account to send spam or malicious emails.
That's a really thorough recovery checklist. So thinking ahead, how can we use what we've learned from this nasty example to be better at spotting fakes in the future? What are those quick checks that should become second nature when logging in anywhere.
Yeah, there are basically 3 quick checks that are your first line of defense against pretty much any phishing attempt, especially login phishing. First, and maybe most obvious but easily missed, check the URL carefully. For Google login, it must be exactly https://accounts.google.com. Not google-accounts.com, not accounts.google.com, some other domain.xyz. Check every single character of the main domain name.
The exact domain.
The exact domain. Second, look for the padlock icon in the address bar. Click on it. Check the security certificate details. Who was it issued to? It should be issued to the company you expect, like google.com.
Okay, check the certificate.
But honestly, maybe the most powerful, low-effort check, it comes from your password manager. If you use one, like Bitwarden, 1Password, LastPass, whatever, pay attention to its behavior.
Yep.
If you land on a page that looks like a login page, but your password manager doesn't offer to autofill your saved credentials, that is a massive red flag.
Huh. That's a great tip. Why is that such a strong signal?
Because password managers are built to be really strict about matching domains. They save your password for accounts.google.com. If you land on a fake site, say accounts-google-login.biz, even if it looks identical, the password manager sees the domain doesn't match exactly what it has on record, so it won't fill.
Ah, I see.
It's basically acting like your personal domain verification tool. If it refuses to fill, you should stop and assume the page is likely malicious. Treat it as compromised until proven otherwise. Full stop.
Okay, that's super helpful for prevention. Now, flipping back to detection, what are those concrete signs you should look out for that might indicate your information was actually stolen and is potentially being misused right now?
Right. You need to monitor for specific indicators of compromise. Check your account security settings regularly. Look for unfamiliar sign-in activity, new devices you don't own, logins from cities or countries you haven't been to. Big red flag. Also, be alert for unexpected password reset emails or verification codes being sent to your phone or email that you didn't request. That means someone else is trying to get in. Or change your password.
Okay, login anomalies. What else?
Dig into your actual application settings. For email, like Gmail, check for those new forwarding rules we mentioned, or maybe changes to your signature or filters you didn't create. Attackers use these to maintain persistence or cover their tracks. And of course, the financial side. Keep a close eye on your bank and credit card statements for unauthorized charges, even small ones. Attackers often test cards with small amounts first. Finally, check your connected apps again. Look in your Google account or other major accounts for new applications or OAuth tokens granted access that you absolutely did not approve yourself. That's a sign they've managed to authorize something malicious using your compromised account.
It really hammers home the point, doesn't it? These malicious sites, like the YourMailTabcom example, they rely on that ambiguity, that click keep changes trick. It forces compliance through confusion.
Sure.
So vigilance is key, especially being almost obsessive about checking URLs and really keeping a tight rein on your browser extensions.
Absolutely. And this whole analysis, it just highlights how instantaneous these attacks can be, which means your defense, your response, it has to be just as fast. You know, the analysis document mentions further investigation could potentially track down who owns the domain, maybe link it to known adware networks, see what other users are reporting.
Right, the deeper investigation.
Yeah, but for you, the person potentially affected, that deeper stuff isn't the immediate priority. Your focus has to be laser sharp on minimizing your personal exposure and damage now. So the real takeaway here, if you think you might have interacted with a prompt like this or entered details on a suspicious page, don't wait, don't wonder. Recognize that cybersecurity is often a race against time. Execute those recovery steps, the secure password change, enabling 2FA, checking permissions, contact your bank if needed, do it immediately. Your security really does depend on how fast you react.